It's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who I consider not only a political colleague, but a friend. And I got to know Irela when she actually joined our steering committee. And I got to know her better when we both served on the County Commission appointed Biscayne Bay Task Force to come up with recommendations and hear from lots of people, including lots of scientists and community advocates, about what were the problems with the Bay and what could be done. She chaired that group. We had a large list of still valid recommendations. It was adopted by the County Commission, and one of the critical ones, we had to put systems in place. And one of the key issues was to get to a recovery plan that could be implemented and would be implemented, not just talk, but action, was Irela Bague. She chaired our group, and we were delighted when a member of our own became our first Chief Bay officer. And I just want to say, you know, from the outside, I've been an insider in the U.S. Senate, in the Speaker's office in Tallahassee, the university. Sometimes from the outside, things don't look the same as from the outside. We need both kinds of, we need activists who are being the squeaky wheel, and we need people with considerable experience in leadership, whether it's South Florida Water Management Commission, the River Commission, and so forth and so on, who get in there, be one of us, but also help make it happen. But like Hardeep said, he needs all of us. So stick with us. But I'm very pleased to announce the next speaker, Irela Bague, who's going to give us an update on where we are.
Those of you who know me know that I travel with my stool because I'm allergic to podiums. So, hello, buenos dias. Everybody's awake? Good. We have a lot to cover, but probably what you're going to hear from me today is not anything new. It's just kind of an update on everything we've accomplished. I'm pleased to serve as Miami-Dade County's first Chief Bay officer. I won't be the last, pretty sure. And I'm happy to provide this update for you guys. And where we are with the Biscayne Bay Task Force recommendations. So I wanted to start in the next slide. I wanted to start reminding us of what brought us together at the first summit. It wasn't just about marine debris. It was this seagrass die-off, which was an alarming wake-up call for many of us in this room, but not so much for the people outside. So it took a while, which led to our next slide, the creation of the Biscayne Bay Task Force. And I really want to thank the members who served on the task force and recognize those of you who are here with us today, starting with Lee Hefty. Please stand up when I call you. Dr. Lynette Cardoche, Steve Stalls, and Jim Murley. And I also want to take a moment to honor the memory of Alice Robertson, who also served with us and provided incredible contributions, not just to the work that we did at the task force, which I believe was her last drop of public service for us, for all of us in Miami-Dade County, but for all the years and all the actions and initiatives that she led in her incredible public service career. Her legacy leaves many generations in better shape than how she left them. So next slide. As you all know, the task force called for an immediate action. Why? Because of this. This happened shortly after we published our report. And as sad and as horrible and devastating as this was for our community, it also woke everybody else on the outside up. And that I'll take to start what we need to start. So the task force basically confirmed that what happens on land ends up in the bay. Isn't that right, Lee? That's attributed to something he said on the task force that I just took and ran with it. So I'm gonna keep using it. Most of us, know that the nutrient pollution is what is causing the seagrass die-offs, the fish kills, the algal blooms. All these are coming from a combination of factors. There's not one smoking gun. I'm not a scientist, I'm a political scientist, but you talk to anybody and you see what's coming out of our canals, you see what's coming out of our stormwater systems, you see what's ending up in the bay from just overuse and suffering from our past land use decisions. We're there. We got there. So basically, the next slide, we broke down the Biscayne Bay Task Force recommendations, and we helped identify some gaps. And we began to figure out and create some nutrient reduction and habitat restoration plans and prioritize those based on the hot spots to implement recovery projects. A total of 68 recommendations were made, divided into 7 policy themes with a key focus on improving water quality. We recommended an overarching governing structure to develop the Biscayne Bay Watershed Management Plan. You heard Hardeep talk about governance and how important governance is, but we can't really make policies without real science. Next slide. We then highlighted items accomplished, and all of these in yellow are things that are either accomplished or in the process of accomplishing. And so I want to thank really the many advocates, many of you who are in this room who show up to county commission meetings, who send emails, who write letters, who make phone calls, actually make phone calls, because it does make a difference and it does matter. And we need more of you, and we need younger ones of you. Many of these did not require legislative action. Some did, some didn't. I want to give a shout out to our dedicated county employees. Many of you who are here, I see Rashid, and I see others. Really, they work diligently every day, making recommendations internally, and really, some of these recommendations only require simple administrative changes that are easy to make. And the task force recognized that and kind of steered folks in that direction. So next slide. And again, none of this would be possible without strong leadership at all levels. I have to really thank Mayor Daniela Levin Cava for making the environment a top priority. Otherwise, I would not have taken this job. And also to our Board of County Commissioners, because they also have stepped up, as well as state leaders and federal leaders. We're at that point that I've been dreaming about my entire career, and many of us have too. And we just need to keep that momentum going. Next slide. I also need to acknowledge the partnerships, as I mentioned, with law enforcement, state agencies, and the academic partners. And here's some notable activities just in a year. We're out there, we're doing it. And many of you are. And wait, there's more. Here are the top accomplishments that we should all be proud of. They're all clear examples. Go next. We're ending in the next one. Go to the next one. There you go. These are all clear examples of catalyzing change, which is a theme of this summit this year. So I want to thank you. I want to encourage you to continue the momentum, continue showing up, continue the work that we do, because let's ride this wave and keep restoration top of the agenda. We're there, so let's move. Thank you.